Hey everyone, it's Patty. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to show you how to make this Happy Mother's Day card. I have the tulips, the one that's open and the one that's kind of a bud. And going around in a circle, I used the Stamparatus to make this card and the timeless tulips. And it's a Mother's Day card. I have the Happy Mother's Day from here in the tulips, and I wanted a little something underneath it, so I took it from Positive Thoughts. But you can put anything under there, another flower, a butterfly. I just wanted to do this. And the reason was this Mother's Day didn't really fit in the center. It was pretty wide. So I have it up a little bit and I needed something below it. So you could play with it. And then on the inside, I just have a couple of tulips. I love these tulips. They're really pretty. So let's get started. I'm first going to do my tulips on the inside so then I can put them on the Stamparatus. So I'm doing it a little bit backwards. So we'll start with the inside of the card. And I'm just going to take a piece of Whisper White cardstock and have it turned this way. And I have my stem and the Granny Apple Green ink, which I just love. This is one of my favorite colors. I think I say that about everything, so I don't know. So I'm just going to get two stems in here and one higher than the other. And you could slant them or, put them on different angles. And then I'm going to use the leaf. And for tulips, I kind of like to have it coming right out of the stem itself. I think that's how they are. So I'll just put, and then I'll do another one over here. Let's see. Let's do it this way. Okay, and then I will do the bigger one in Daffodil Delight. And I didn't put a sentiment in. There wasn't one with that's the stamp set. I could probably find a Mother's Day one, but I'll just write my own little note for my mom. So we'll do this one. And it's nice that they're clear so you can get right up to the top of the stem. And then this one I'm using Mellow Mambo, and that's the card base as well. So I thought these were a nice combination, the Daffodil Delight and the Melon Mambo. So we'll just, looks like there's something on it. I think it's actually on the outside of the stamp. Okay, isn't that pretty? So we'll put that aside, and I'm going to get out my Stamparatus. If you're not familiar, it's a stamp positioning tool. So it's kind of like the Misty. Some people have the Misty. This has two plates, and you could take them out and you could flip them around. So you could actually do 4 different stamps. And you just keep going over and over again. You keep your paper in a specific place, and then you can re-stamp if it came out too light, or you can do multiple cards. There's a lot of different things you can do. But I have this template, and I've made this with a 4x4. This one is 3.5 by 3.5. So I just, cut a piece of 3.5 by 3.5, and I traced it. And that's what I use to make my template, and that will help me move my, if you wanted to do a wreath or something like that. Actually, I have a piece that I've already done. See, I couldn't fit that in right, so I'm doing the back of it. I didn't even realize that. So let's do this. So the first thing you do is you lay your paper where you want it. Now, if you were doing just a card, you might want to mark it here or know that you're going to go in these lines. But since I'm doing this circle, I want to make sure I do it in the template. So the first thing I'm going to do is clean my stamp, and then I'm going to lay it down here. I'm going to take it off the block. So the stamp is clean, and I'm going to do all my yellow in the points first. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to put it as far up as I can. So you just place your stamp where you want it. And then you close your door, and when you press, it will pick up the stamp. Okay, and now I'll place this here. And what I like to do, let me just pull this out of the way, is I like to have a stamp pad underneath. So this is kind of flat. And all you do is take your ink it up, and it's okay if it gets on the side, and then you're going to just press it down. Pick it up, and again I'm going to do all my yellows. Turn it, ink it up, and just repeat this. And it's great because everything will be perfectly laid out. I think my tulip is a little bit high, but that's okay. And if you are going, you can put the magnet in to keep your paper in place, but since I'm turning it each time, I'm not going to do that. I have a place marked where I can lay it, so I know it's in the right place. Okay. So there we have it. We have those. And then I'm going to switch this door out. I could have the other stamp coming down, but I think for the video, it'd be easier for you to see it just going the same way. So we'll put this one in, and now we're going to use the other stamp, and we're going to have our square this way. So this is all clean. And again, I want to place it. See, there's a piece on this side of it. That's what I was seeing through the clear block, and I want to make this go as high as I can without going off, and kind of center it between these two because I want to fit the Happy Mother's Day in. So I'm going to close the door, pick it up, and then I'll ink this one up with the Melon Mambo. Okay, and I'm sorry if it's a little shadowy here. It's not a very sunny day, and I'm using daylight after I finish babysitting the grandkids in my son's kitchen, so I've got to make it work. So I hope everybody's doing okay and making lots of cards and sending them out. Let people know that you're thinking of them. And Mother's Day is right around the corner. My mom lives next door to me down in Florida, but I'm up in New York, so I will be sending her a card this year instead of going over to see her. But that's okay because my kids will be with me for Mother's Day, and my grandkids. All right, I can't believe May is right around the corner, actually. Went by quick. So isn't that pretty? I like the way it came out. And you could do this. I've done this with kind of leafy things that make a wreath that are curved, and they really make a beautiful wreath. So now I'm going to do the Happy Mother's Day, and I'll do that in the Melon Mambo. And see, if I put it down here, it will hit both of those. So I put it up a little bit. And let's see if this way is better. Okay, so see, I felt like I needed a little bit of something. So again, I took this from the Positive Thoughts stamp set, but you can do any little, you could do a couple of leaves or something like that. The leaves with the Timeless Tulips are too big to fit in there, so that's why I didn't use something else there. So I just want to make sure this is inked up good. And just come below it, kind of centered. And then I'll put the little gem in there. So then the next thing I want to do is stamp the leaves for the background layer. So we'll put this aside, and my background layer, this is a very tight layer. I wanted to show a lot of the leaves. So this is like 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 versus 5 1/4 by 4, my usual standard kind of layer. But I'll have all of that on my website where the blog is, pspapercrafts.com, and you can check that out. So let me get my Granny Apple Green again. And I'm just going to stamp leaves all around the outside. So there's no, I want to make sure they're kind of coming off the paper. They're going to be hidden. And I'm going to have this all covered, so it doesn't really matter. Let me see if I can just do this guy again. I didn't do it very dark there. That's okay. So, and I want to kind of have them go different ways. Boy, I'm having a hard time with this. I think I'm not stamping down good. I'm going to just flip this and I'll speed it up so you don't have to watch it again. Okay. So that's okay. That'll be covered. So let's close this one up and then we just have to put our pieces together. So let's put these two together. I'll use my liquid glue and we'll put these two together. There's my mistake. 2 sides to every piece of cardstock. Gotta love it. Okay. And then before I put this down, I want to put a piece of this, what is it called? It's the Granny Apple Textured Weave Ribbon. Granny Apple Green. So I love that, things all coordinate, matchy-matchy here. So that's nice. And I'm just going to get some Scotch tape and tape it in the back. So I have the Scotch tape and we'll just go right around the center of this. I actually have 2 Mother's Day cards to give out, so this will be good. I can give one to my mother and one to my stepmother-in-law. There we go. Now we can put this down on the card base. And I'll use my liquid glue for that. Okay, so what do we have left? We have to put the inside in. And I just thought this would be a fun card. I love trying different things with the Stamparatus. And I tried it with the 4-inch square and also a 3-inch square. And I felt like the 4-inch square, everything was spread out too much. And the 3-inch wouldn't fit. So I went for the 3.5-inch square. And that just seemed to work perfectly. So let's put this down with dimensionals. And they're over here. And then we just have to put our little glitter or glimmer dot. And it comes in Melamambo, so how perfect is that? And we'll just put these, take these off quick. It's a pretty easy card, and if you have the Stamparatus, I would suggest that you just play with it. There's a lot of different things, there's a lot of videos out there and different things you can do with it. Don't be afraid of it, and just play. And I actually played on some scrap paper to get the sizing. So I cut just pieces of this and tried the 3-inch, the 4-inch, and then the 3.5-inch, and that's where I figured out before I used my cardstock. So I think I used this size, and we'll just put that right there. Doesn't it just add so much. You could put a bow on this, but I thought this was plenty. I didn't want to make it too busy. So these are the cards. I think they're really pretty. I think my mom and my stepmom-in-law will be happy when they receive them. You guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.